Months passed since Ada returned to her family, and life in the village slowly returned to normal. Ada has regained peace, becoming an inspiration to many young women. Her wisdom and resilience earned her the respect of the villagers, but the same could not be said for Nkechi. Shunned by the community, Nkechi wandered aimlessly. She spent her days alone, haunted by guilt over her betrayal of Ada. Her dreams of wealth had turned into nightmare, and every day she wished she could undo the harm she has caused. On a fateful day, Nkechi overheard the villagers' elders discussing the terrible problem. A strange illness had spread through the village, affecting many families. People were desperate for a cure, but the only healer who could help lived in a distant town across dangerous forests. No one dares to make the journey. When Nkechi heard this, she saw an opportunity to redeem herself. If I can bring the healer back, perhaps I can make amends for my action, she thought. Summoning all her courage, Nkechi approached the elders. I will go, she said, her voice trembling. I will find the healer and bring him to the village. The elders were surprised but grateful. They warned Nkechi the dangers that lay ahead, but she was determined. Carrying only a small bag of food and water, she set off on the perilous journey. The forest was dark on the perilous journey. Now you're going to see what happened in the story. The forest was dark and filled with earth sound. Wild animals prowled, and a strange shadow danced in the moonlight. Nkechi's heart pounded with fear, but she pressed on, remembering the face of the sick villagers and Ada's kindness despite everything. One night, as she rested by a stream, she was confronted by a group of bandits. They demanded her belongings and threatened to harm her. Trembling, Nkechi knelt and pleaded with them. I have nothing of value, but I am on a mission to save my village. Please, let me pass. The leader of the bandits, a scared man with piercing ears, hesitated. Your courage is rare, he said after a long silence. We will let you go, but beware. The forest ahead holds trial greater than us. After many days, Nkechi finally reached the healer's home. The old woman was wise and kind, but her words were unexpected. I will go with you to your village, the healer said, but only if you pass one final test. Nkechi said, what test? Her voice weary but determined. You must confront your greatest fear, the healer replied. Return to the place where you lost yourself, the mansion of Chief Ugo, and find the strength to face your past. Nkechi's heart sank. The thought of returning to Chief Ugo's abandoned mansion filled her with dread, but she nodded. I will do it, she said, knowing this was her chance to prove her sincerity. When Nkechi reached the ruins of Chief Ugo's mansion, memories of her betrayal flooded back. She walked through the crumbling halls, each step heavy with regret. Finally, she stood in the room where she had once convinced Ada to marry Chief Ugo. Falling to her knees, Nkechi wept. I was blinded by greed and ambition. She cried aloud. I hurt my best friend and I ruined her life. If I could go back, I would choose differently. Please let me have a chance to make this right. At that moment, it was as if a burden lifted from Nkechi's heart. She felt lighter, as though the mansion itself has forgiven her. With renewed strength, she returned to the healer, who smiled. You have faced your past and learned from it. Now let us save your village. The healer and Nkechi returned to Elua, where the villagers were overjoyed to see them. The healer prepared the remedy, and within days, the sick began to recover. Nkechi's bravery and determination did not unnoticed. One day, Ada approached Nkechi. For a moment, there was silence between them. Then Nkechi fell to her knees. Ada, I do not deserve your forgiveness, but I must ask for it. I was wrong, and I am sorry for everything I did to you. Ada looked at Nkechi, her eyes filled with emotion. I forgave you long ago, Nkechi, she said softly. What matters now is that you are changed. The villagers, seeing Nkechi's transformation, welcomed her back into their community. She and Ada rebuilt her friendship, this time on a foundation of honesty and trust. Nkechi became one of the most selfless people in the village, dedicating her life to helping others and sharing her story as a warning against greed. Moral lesson from this story: no matter how far someone strays, redemption is possible through courage, humility, and sincere desire to make amends. Thank you for watching today's story, the part 2 of our story. Thank you, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, the African Folktales TV. Thank you.